What is up, guys? Welcome back to Major News Reports here. And we obviously, you can see a bracket up, and it says Super Bowl if you don't know already. This is the NFL playoff bracket for this year. And welcome to the sports report here, Major News Reports. And we obviously will be, as you can see up on the screen, we'll be doing the NFL playoff predictions and what I think about all the matches and things. We'll just do a quick overview of what we're looking at right here. So as you can see in the AFC side, the number one seat in getting a bye in the first round will be the Tennessee Titans. And over on the other side, the NFC, the one seat is the Packers at the one seat there and getting the bye. Then the Steelers and Chiefs will play. Chiefs coming in at number 2, Steelers barely making it at number 7. Then you'd have the Bills and Patriots. Bills at 3, Patriots at 6, Bengals at 4, Raiders at 5. And those two would play each other. On the other side, you have the Buccaneers at 2, Eagles at 7. The Cowboys at 3, and the 49ers at 6, the Rams at 4, and the Cardinals at 5. So let's just get right into it here, and let's do some evaluating and what I think as a sports reporter for Major News Reports, what will happen. So, starting off, we'll start in the AFC side. And we'll work it all the way up till we get a person in the Super Bowl for them. And then we'll head over to the other side if you're a fan of a team over there or you're just interested. But we're going to start on the AFC. So, we're going to start at Kansas City Chiefs, the 2 seat, versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Okay, so in this match, Kansas City coming in at 2 seat, very strong team, very stacked team all around. Their offense is very stacked. They have just a good team all around. On the other hand, the Steelers, coming in barely making it off some, well-finished last games and close games too. So they've been, they've barely made it. They're definitely an underdog here. And and their quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger, they're telling us this is probably going to be his last season, so they might be fired up because of that, because they want to win, and just because they're underdogs and they know it. But it is in Kansas City. It's a hard place to play. It really is. It's a hard place to play, especially in the postseason. Now that we're in the postseason, it's Kansas City. I do have the Chiefs winning in this one, also because of Patrick Mahomes. He's gonna perform, I think, better in the playoffs too. I can't see the Pittsburgh Steelers winning, so I am gonna have to go with the Kansas City Chiefs. So the Kansas City Chiefs, I actually can't click on them, but because I just on our screen, I just pulled up on our advanced screen just the bracket. So I can't actually click on them yet. I can't click on them and move them over. Otherwise I would, but they will not play the Titans. They will move down to the other match down there. Now we're going to move to the 3 versus 6. The Bills versus Patriots. I think both teams are very good teams. Very, very, going to be a very competitive match. I really do think this game will be close. I think this game will be a battle. I really do. And, Mac Jones coming in as a rookie. Bill Belichick, a pretty good coach in the playoffs. But on the other side, you got Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, overall a good team. And the Bills have been playing pretty okay recently. Patriots have been a bit, they're performing okay. It's in Buffalo. I think Buffalo's going to come fired up to play in these playoffs. And I just think Buffalo will take it. So I have Buffalo winning that one. And they will drop down. And next match down below, the AFC logo in that match right now. We have Buffalo versus Kansas City in that one. And now moving down to the last match in the AFC for the wild card. The 4 seed versus 5, the Bengals versus the Raiders. Okay. This one is also I think, going to be a okay game. The Raiders, which a team that beat the Chargers to barely get in the playoffs. Barely. In overtime, last second field goal. I think, Raiders are a decent team. They're in the playoffs like some years not, but they always usually end up with a good record. Either this year they ended and got in the playoffs, but usually they're a decent team. But on the other side, the Cincinnati Bengals, they have a stacked offense. They're a well-rounded team. They really are. They got a very good run defense. Their pass defense may be a bit shaky, but their defense is also okay. But with Joe Burrow, Joe Mixon, Jamar Chase, and a lot of other decent wide receivers, Joe Burrow has a really good wide receiver core, and I just think they're a well-rounded team. And I really do. In Cincinnati, I think home field advantage in postseasons are very key. I think that the Bengals are just a really well-rounded team for this first round against the Raiders. They beat them before in the regular season, and I think they're going to probably beat them again here in the postseason. So I'm going to take the Bengals on this one. I really will, and I'm going to take them. And I have them moving on to the second round here. Okay, so that's the first round of the playoffs in the AFC. Now let's move to the second round of the playoffs. So I had the Bengals winning, so that means the Titans would take on the Bengals. So it would be the 1 seed versus 4 seed Tennessee Titans versus the Bengals. Tennessee Titans, a 1 seed. A very good team, but sometimes they can be shaky. And, I think they're a very good team, though, since they obviously are a 1 seed. They will have home field advantage. It will be in their stadium. I think, on the other side, like we said, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Joe Mixon, a very, very good offense, a very decent run defense, and their pass defense is okay. I think all around, the Bengals are a great team. I'm going to have to take the Bengals again in this one, and I think they will move on to the AFC Championship game. I think, it's going to be a hard-fought battle for the Bengals, but I think they will pull it out. And the Titans also, with Derrick Henry, he's still questionable. Will he be back? Will he not be? That's what I'm trying to say. They've been shaky without Derrick Henry sometimes. And I just think with a well-rounded Bengals team, I don't know if the Tennessee Titans could do it. If Derrick Henry's back, we might have a different story, and we'll see if the Bengals will be able to stop him. But for now, I'm going to go with the Bengals, and I think the Bengals will move on to the AFC Championship. But if Tennessee gets Derrick Henry back, I will definitely think it will be a different story for the game. But we're taking the Bengals, and we're sticking with it. So then, the other match would be Kansas City Chiefs versus Bills, 2 versus 3. I don't know. I don't know about this one. This one is good. It's going to be a good game. Some people are saying stuff that these two teams, if they have them clinching together and facing off, if they do. But I think this is going to be... for my predictions, I have them clinching here. And it's going to be a very, very good match. A very good match. I think it's going to be a very close match, a really close match, and to be honest, Josh Allen, very good player. I think he's going to come prepared for the playoffs, and Stephon Diggs, he'll connect. But as the 2 seed, the Chiefs, will get home field advantage. Like I said in the first round, tough place to play in Kansas City. And Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, and just all around a stacked offense. Their defense has been a bit shaky. So we'll have to see if the Bills would be able to crack their defense open. But I just don't see the Bills in Kansas City. In Kansas City, I just don't see the. I just don't see the Bills really winning. So I'm gonna have to go Kansas City Chiefs. So in the AFC Championship, I have the Kansas City Chiefs facing off against the Cincinnati Bengals. Before I say who's going to make it to that, let's go over to the NFC and break that down and get that to their championship game. And then we'll talk about the championship games and then who I have in the Super Bowl and probably who I have winning the Super Bowl. And, okay, so to remind you, Packers get a bye in the NFC side. And then we'll start off with number 2 seeded Buccaneers versus number 7 seeded Eagles. To be honest with you, I really do think this will be a very close game. I honestly do. People might say, what are you talking about? I think this is going to be a blowout. To be honest with you, I know the Eagles, barely got into the 7th seed. But honestly, I don't know. I just kind of see potential in the Eagles. And I think this is going to be a very close game. But on the other side, the Buccaneers, home field advantage. Very good, decent defense. All around, stacked offense. Tom Brady, obviously you have to mention Tom Brady. Tom Brady in the postseason is definitely different from the regular season. I think Tom Brady is going to come fired up. I think this is going to be a close game, but it is in the Bucs Stadium. I think a well-rounded Buccaneers team. I think the Buccaneers will take this by a close game, a very close game. I think. I really think this is going to be close. Okay, so moving down, the Cowboys versus the 49ers. This one, I think, is also going to be a very good one. I think we have good games all around in the playoffs this year. But this one is going to be a good one, too, to start in the NFC side. The Cowboys, a 3 seed. 49ers, a 6 seed. The Cowboys have home field advantage in Dallas. Huge part of the postseason, you want home field advantage as long as you can get it. And to be honest with you, I don't. This one's a tough one because the Cowboys have been very, very shaky lately. Very, very shaky, and it depends what they bring to the table. I really don't know what they'll bring to the table. I really don't. But I think on the other side, the 49ers have been hot lately. Barely making the playoffs, but they got on a hot streak. They really did. But I'm still sticking with the Cowboys. I still think they're going to come fired up in the playoffs. I think they're just going to come fired up, and I think the Cowboys will take this one. I think it's going to be a close game, very good game, but I think the Cowboys will take it. Moving down, the 4 versus 5 seat, the Rams versus the Cardinals, another, I think, very good one. This one's the Monday game. This one's going to be a very good one, a divisional match. To be honest with you, in Los Angeles, Cardinals will still have an okay fan base there, but the Rams will have a home field advantage, which will help a little bit with them this game. The Cardinals, been a very good team. They're a very good team, I think, and they can be, but lately they've been very shaky. They've shown us that they're I don't know, they're off rhythm right now. They're very shaky. Rams, on the other hand, they've been actually pretty good all season. They've been consistent. They've been pretty darn good. And with Matthew Stafford, home field advantage, Cooper Kupp, a decent defense, and just all around a pretty good team. I'm going to have to go Los Angeles Rams on this one. And, yeah, I'm going Rams. I think I'm a very close game, but I think the Rams will pull it out. All right, so moving up to the Packers. And I had the Rams winning, so the Rams would move up to that match and play the Packers. Number 1 versus number 4, Rams, Packers. I think this one is going to be is going to be a thriller. I think this one's going to be a shootout. I really do. It's in Lambeau Field, though. And another tough place to play is Lambeau Field. That's going to be a huge part for Aaron Rodgers and the Packers to come into that match. Lambeau Field, tough place to play in the playoffs, especially. That's huge for them to have home field advantage against the Los Angeles Rams. Both teams have very good part, but with Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, Aaron Jones, a decent defense, that's just, I think that's a tough team to beat. So I'm going to have to go Packers on this one, and I have them going to the NFC Championship game. I'm going Packers. And then the match, I had the Bucks winning and the Cowboys winning, so it would be number 2 versus number 3, Bucks, Cowboys. Like I said, the Cowboys have been very shaky lately, very shaky, and, they, I think they're an okay team, but it will be in the Buccaneers Stadium. A very good home field advantage the Bucks probably wanted. And the Cowboys, coming in, they'll be fired up, I think. The playoffs, they're going to be ready. But it's just Tom Brady, playoffs. It's just a different story when you get Tom Brady and you're playing Tom Brady. So, Tom Brady, playoffs, different story. It's going to be hard to beat him for the Cowboys. And I think the Buccaneers will take it and they'll clinch against the Green Bay Packers in the NFC Championship game. All right, so we have the AFC Championship game in the NFC Championship games solved here and what I think they will be. So let's see who will get into the Super Bowl, in my opinion, and win the flipping Super Bowl, Everybody's been waiting the whole video for this, and they're getting ready. Get your popcorn. Let's see who I have going to the Super Bowl. Starting in the AFC Championship game, a very good match. 2-seeded Kansas City Chiefs versus 4-seeded Cincinnati Bengals. Both teams, very good. Very, very good. Bengals, like I keep saying, Joe Burrow, Joe Mixon, Jamar Chase, a good wide receiver, rest of the wide receiver core, and just a run defense that's pretty good and a pass defense that's okay. So average defense there. The Kansas City Chiefs, though, on the other hand, they have Patrick Mahomes, who's a pretty darn good quarterback in the postseason. It's going to be in Kansas City, a really tough place to play. The Kansas City Chiefs, just an all-around good team, like a lot nowadays after they got Mahomes, and they just built a team around him now. And I think the Kansas City Chiefs will be AFC champs and move on to the Super Bowl. So I had the Kansas City Chiefs going to the Super Bowl. And now the NFC Championship game. I had the number 1 seeded Green Bay Packers versus the number 2 seeded Buccaneers. And to be honest with you, okay, so here it's going to be another clinch. I think it's going to be a battle, a really, really good battle. This is a tough match. Going to be really close. Number 1 seeded Packers, 2 seeded Bucks. I think it's going to be tougher for the Bucks in Lambeau Field, home field advantage that the Green Bay Packers wanted. They got. It's in Lambeau Field. I repeat, it's in Lambeau Field. That is a huge advantage for the Packers. Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, Aaron Jones, pretty 3 good, solid offense, and a couple other good, decent players on offense, and all around a pretty good Packers team versus Tom Brady, the postseason Tom. Very good battle here. I do think the Green Bay Packers will be NFC champions this time. I think they'll be ready for those Bucks this year, and I do think the Green Bay Packers will move on to the Super Bowl. So, by my predictions, the Super Bowl, in my opinion, will be the 2-seeded Kansas City Chiefs from the AFC and the number 1-seeded Green Bay Packers from the NFC. A very, very good Super Bowl. I really do think it's going to be a great Super Bowl. It's going to be a great, great Super Bowl. A really good match. Solid teams on both sides. The Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs has been great in past years. With Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, and good weapons on offense and decent defense. That's has been shaky lately, but I think they're a good team. The Green Bay Packers, also a very good team. Got the number 1 seed in the NFC. In my personal opinion, here we go. Here comes the Super Bowl pick. In my personal opinion, I do think the Green Bay Packers will take this Super Bowl this year. And I think the Green Bay Packers will win it all, the NFL this year. I think it's going to be a close battle. I think the Kansas City Chiefs will almost have it, and the Green Bay Packers will win it by 1 possession. Yeah, I really do, and I think the Green Bay Packers will win it all. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next time on Major News Reports, Sports Report. And we need 5 likes for, a different sports thing, and I'll do another sports report like this, except, not just this. I'll report on more. And you also can leave a comment, suggestion of what you think will happen in the playoffs. And other sports ideas that you want me to report on. Thanks for tuning in to today's sports report on Major News Reports. Make sure to like and subscribe. And thanks for tuning in. Goodbye.